Hey class. So in this video, I just wanted to go over and review some of the tools that we learned this week, including the line tool, the paintbrush blob tool, and the pen tool. So there are three different types of line tools that I went over. I went over the line segment tool, the arc tool, and the spiral. The line segment tool pretty much creates lines, right? And you can change the color of the line, the thickness of the line, uniform, right, and the style of the line above. You can also change the direction of the line. I'd get used to using your direct selection tool, which will allow you to move your anchor points around to change the direction of that line. You can also add points to it using your add anchor point tool, right? So if I click on here, you can see that I can add points. Now this creates a very linear shape. There are no curves. Now, not that you can't create curves, you can very easily, even with the widget will kind of curve around that edge. You can even add points that have curves to it, to your line, or you can use your your arc tool, right? So your arc tool is located right underneath the line segment, and those, whoops, and oh, whoops, I guess I created two lines. Sorry, I was getting confused. This is an arc. And when you use the arc tool, it already creates like a curved line. Now the difference is that you have these anchor points in a line segment that are connected to one another, but they have what we call anchor bars that come off of those anchor points. And you can kind of push and pull those anchor bars to create your line. The last tool that I went over is just the spiral tool. This one's kind of fun. I can show you other ways like why you would use it, but for now, it's just decorative. If you wanted to create some sort of a graphic coming out of your, um, your design or brochure or whatever it is that you're creating in this program, this is the type of tool you might use to create that. And you can also, as you can see that I'm doing right now, like change the shape of it, the uniform shape of it, and so forth. Right. So those are your line tools. Your paint blob brush. So today in class, we talked about the differences, right? So I talked specifically about how the paintbrush might be used for outlining something. Look at it not like to paint with, but to outline. I would almost categorize it as like a part of like your line tools. The only difference is that this is like a line that you can free draw with. So if you have like a drawing tablet, or if you're in school, I can give you one, and you could play around with the drawing tablet and free drawing lines on your page. The other tool is your blob brush tool. All right, so this tool is very different from the paintbrush. As you can see that the line segments and the points run around the outline that you create, and it's a shape. So this could actually be categorized more as like one of your shape tools, but it's a freeform shape tool. You can kind of use it to paint freely some sort of shape that you might want to create. If you were going to use these tools together in like an illustrative way, I would use the paintbrush to outline your objects, and I would use the blob brush to color in your objects. And if you notice, I didn't explain this in class because I was doing it when I was doing it, but when you work with them this way, I would make your outline in one layer. All right, see how I have my outline in layer 1, and I would make your color it in a separate layer. And right now I have mine underneath the outline so that the color doesn't kind of come through. The last tool I wanted to go over in this video is the pen tool. All right, so I talked about creating a shape with using the pen tool. So creating like a very linear shape, starting with a line set with a an anchor point in a line segment. You then can continue to click down and create numerous anchor points and direct your line segments in many different ways, right? To then create like your custom shape. Now, you can also add points to it. You can also delete points to it and so forth. In my period 6 class, I was using the brand Emergencies, one part of their logo design to create this, right? Just to kind of show you how you would apply this to something in the real world, right? And in my period 4 class, I showed you that paper plate with the birthday cake on it, right? And you would use tools like this to create that. The last way to use the pen tool would be to create like more of a curved linear line. This seems to get people a little bit more confused than anything else that I go over right now. When you go to use this, you want to click down and hold on your mouse. Do not let go. So you're going to click and pull and just keep holding down and pressing down on your mouse. When you do that, these little anchor bars come out, all right? And that's kind of saying, hey, we're going to create a curved line. And then, so when I click, drag those anchor bars out and then let go and release the mouse, it creates a curved linear line, all right? And then if you want to continue to create curved lines, you have to continue to click and press down on the mouse, drag your anchor bars out, and let go. And then you have another line. So when you do this, you have to be really mindful of where you place your anchor points and how you angle your anchor bars. You're going to pull them out, keep them in, right, depending on what type of a shape you're trying to create, right? And then again, just like the anchor, just like using the pen tool to create straight lines, like I just showed you, it works the same way and applies the same way. Wherever you start, you must end. Notice where the 2 points touch, a little circle pops up at the bottom right of your pen. All right, and there you have it. Now, you can also add to this. You can subtract to it. You can also notice I'm kind of playing with my widgets here. I'm trying to see how I can smooth that out a little bit more. You can also change the shape of it, move your anchor points around. If it's not really the shape that you were looking for, you can move those anchor points or move those anchor bars to create more of that shape that you were looking to create, right? So that's how you would use the pen tool, all right? So now I'm going to create another video that goes over an activity, a pen tool challenge that I would like to go over with you.